it's a great question, and it's one that I think we all ponder and we talk about. Live life by design, not by default. That's no
Good.
regrets. How are you designing the life that you want, your ideal life, and are you living it now?
Welcome to Your Next Big Project is You, a podcast based around the theme of time. Time to be able to press pause on life. Time to reevaluate what's important. Time to reminisce about where you've come from, what you've learned, and what you've accomplished. Time to revisit your goals, dreams, and vision. And time to remember the people in your life. That's it, my friends. If you've got time, fasten your seatbelt and listen in as we discuss opportunities for the next 5 to 25 years of your life. And remember, your next big project is you. Welcome to our podcast. Your next big project is you. And I'm really excited today to have a very good friend, someone I've known for a few years now, has become to me like an adjunct member of my family. That's how close we've become after getting to know each other. Michael Bradley, CEO and founder of Bradley Wealth, headquartered in Scottsdale, Arizona, offices in San Diego, and one of the nicest, most caring, highly professional, respected guys in the profession. Michael, thank you for joining me today.
Leo, great to be with you, my friend. And thank you so much for having me on your podcast. This is truly a joy and an honor to sit in with you today. So
well, the honors mine, my friend. And I just want to come at you with the whole evolution of Bradley Wealth. I know you as this Iowa background and the son of an auctioneer, if I remembered right, and guy that played college basketball. Tell us a little bit about that journey to the point of founding your own organization, serving the needs of many sophisticated clients with complex needs in the wealth management space today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my journey really started, in my formative years, being a part of a family-owned business. Always, Leo, wanting to be an entrepreneur, wanting to be a business owner, wanting to serve others. But, I had a successful 15, 16-year career corporate. I had a pivot point during the 2001, 2002 financial crisis that allowed me to hit the pause button, take some time off, and really just explore and evaluate and do some introspection around what's my next chapter, what's my next endeavor. And honestly, it was through the experiences I had working with other firms, other advisors, where I felt this tremendous void, this sort of non-transactional feel, if you will, around trying to help people find meaning and purpose around money, to think about living life differently, really going deep with my clients. And I thought, you know what, I can do this and I'm going to do it differently. And so, we're just surpassing the 20-year mark at Bradley Wealth. And for me, it was just trying to be unique in this space of offering advice.
Wow. Well, Michael, not only can you do it, you did it. So congratulations. You built up a formidable wealth management team, a great collection of talent that surrounds you and provides that Ritz-Carlton Four Seasons level of service that I know that you espouse. You're delivering on it. A couple of the things that came to my attention from just getting to know you better and meeting other team members is that you got your hands around this concept of which you affectionately refer to as true wealth, and it relates to the concept of helping your clients to achieve a more effective or a better return on their life, ROL, return on life. Tell us more about true wealth and the goal of achieving return on life, please.
Yeah, Leo, it really, obviously we're in the numbers business and we know we're accountable to the numbers. We have to obviously drive a result, but the concept of true wealth for me started over a decade ago. And just from being around the business and hearing people share deeply, intimately around their life and what they're trying to find ultimately, this concept of true wealth is really around things that money can't buy and death can't take away. And
Mm.
it's things I think we're all striving for. You've reached security, you've reached a level of stability in your life, and people are searching and digging and wanting more meaning around their wealth, around time with family, around legacy, making memories, having experiences that are going to allow them to, create that legacy ultimately. But, we're just trying to bring meaning to the money differently, and getting people to think much more broadly about their life's purpose at the end of the day.
Yeah. I love that concept, Michael, of things that money can't buy and that death can't take away. Say a little bit more to that. That's a really interesting theme there.
Yeah, true wealth is the backbone of Bradley Wealth. I mean, anybody that knows our firm, that's been associated with our firm for, a decade, almost 2 decades now, knows that this idea of true wealth is everywhere in our firm. It's out in social media, it's in our vocabulary, it's part of our DNA. But working with you and part of the sabbatical experience and the incredible synergy from being your best, living your legacy around, the 7 principles has evolved into our mission at Bradley Wealth, which is knowing your why and understanding the meaning of what you're trying to accomplish. And that's where return on life came about. We know we're responsible for driving return on investment. How often do we hear
Right.
that? Everybody's about return on investment, in our world. And yeah, we have to deliver, but getting people to think about what is your return on life? What does that mean? How are you attacking that? Where do you go throughout your journey to find life's purpose? So true
Right.
wealth, return on life, as you know, building a life of significance, building a legacy is what a lot of people are so desperately trying to achieve and want.
Yeah. It seems like I know from my experiences, Michael, that the whole concept of, as we said, that there's a shift in your case, in your positioning from ROI, return on investments, which everybody talks about, to the concept of ROL, return on life, right? And it feels to me like that approach, rather than say, hey, I got $1 million, I got 5 million, 10 million, 100 million, whatever the number is, what can you do? How can you help me to reach this? The return on life, to me, it's almost like you have to unzip the zipper on someone's chest.
Yeah,
And you got to reach in and feel what's in their heart and in their soul.
most
Just the
definitely.
things that are really significant to them, meaningful to them, so you can shape the planning process in a way to guide them, to give them that return you're talking about. Is that a fair way of concluding that?
No, you're spot on, Leo. And, I think the initial conversations with clients are all around discovery, and exactly doing that is, unzipping, uncovering, identifying what's important to them. What do they truly value? Having them share around their family, their children, their goals, because we are in the business of helping our clients live a life of significance, to help enhance their quality of life, to help them be at their best, whatever role they're playing in life and business and relationships. And Leo, you're the epitome of this. I've watched you for 3+ years and how you go about living your life. But you can never, in my opinion, embark on a new relationship in our business unless you really, really take time to know someone, understand what's important to them, what keeps them up at night, what drives their thinking, what are their passions, what are they trying to pursue. It's just so important, and yet it's just not available to a lot of people unless you're hiring a professional coach, to help you walk this journey called life. So our client
Yep.
journey is all about discovery. It's about goal attainment. It's about accountability and just helping people become their best, and don't waste time. We talked
Yeah.
about, not wasting time. And we know life, as you and I have seen together just in a few short years, how fleeting things can be. And you've got to plan and prepare for whatever may lie ahead. But
Yeah.
we just try to keep our clients on point around these principles, getting beyond the money, thinking about your life differently. What does the legacy look like? What do you want? What do you want your eulogy to stand for?
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of ways that we can take that deeper. I just see so many folks in the industry that are talking that game, but they're not living it. It's very surface level.
Yeah.
Michael, you mentioned the concept of the sabbatical.
There's the cards.
I'm holding in my hand, buddy, a series of cards. You've seen these before. I know you have a deck.
Yep.
And we talk about sabbatical for those people, maybe some of the folks in your universe that don't know it. We created an experience to help folks like yourself, very successful, seasoned people who have a lot, have achieved a lot, and a point in their life dealing with the next 5 to 25 years around these important issues, which you're helping clients through your discussions of return on life talk about these same issues.
Mm-hmm.
So we mentioned significance a couple of times. There's 7 categories here. I want to have some fun with you.
Yeah.
From life of significance to living a life with no regrets, to living a life with abundance, which to living a life with gratitude, living a life with perspective, living a life by being on a goal and of being your ultimate best in all aspects of your life. And lastly, the 7th area is around living your legacy. So let's have some fun. There's 7 colors, 7 cards. Here's the first question I want to ask. I want to pick a significance card out because that's the first element of the deck that we deal with. Michael, here's the question for you. What does the life of significance mean to you? You must ask this to your clients, I'm assuming, but what's it mean to Michael Bradley?
Leo, I think for me personally, it starts with the ability for me to have self-care, number one, because if you don't take care of yourself, you don't take care of your health, you're not going to be able to have a life of significance. So I've spent a lot of time. I have a personal trainer in my life, but a life of significance is exactly what we're helping our clients achieve. And what we want for our clients ultimately is go live a life of significance, however you define that. And everyone defines success, everyone defines significance differently. But for me, a life of significance is time with people like you that I can spend time with on the golf course, with dear friends, Brooklyn, obviously, who I'm about ready to marry as my partner for life, who you've met and become familiar with.
Absolutely.
And, just, I think for me, it was stepping back when I signed up for the sabbatical and just thinking about and getting perspective on what's next. And we talk about the next big project being you, which you and I are going to have some fun with in the coming months with our clients and people that want to participate. But
Yes.
Life of significance is just helping people get out of the box and pursue their passions, pursue their interests, pursue their hobbies, go make memories. All of our clients are doing this in various ways. They're uprooting their lives on the heels of COVID. They're changing careers. They're rethinking. And I'd like to say it's attributed to the conversations we have with them. I can give you many examples of conversations with clients, but it truly is just that. It's true wealth. It's return on life. And it's hitting the pause button. You've got to take time to meditate and reflect on what really matters to you. And you talk about the next 5 to 25 years. We're in that window.
Yeah, no question. It's funny, Michael, I've seen it in discussions with folks as well. And I'll say, rewind your life. Go back to just getting out of college. And you probably went through a mode of, am I going to make something of my degree? What am I going to do? I want, your first few years, it's almost like you're just trying to survive, right? To make a few bucks. And you have to pay back a loan or two. You just getting your career off and running. And that survival stage, to me, leads into that next phase of security where we start to make a few bucks, start to get our job, maybe we get our first promotion, starting to find out that we can bring some value to an organization or to some people that we want to serve and things like that. So survival to security. And all of a sudden, we start to realize
we start achieving some level of success. We start to hit our stride, make a few bucks, buy that house we always wanted to buy with the car in the driveway. Maybe you have our first or second kid, whatever it might be. Survival to security to success, but success leads into significance.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden we start to think, and that's the beauty in the relationship and the integration into return on life, because all of a sudden meaning, purpose, legacy, things that you want to impact, put an imprint on in terms of your personality, bringing your character out and alive in well, shaping the future for others, maybe in different ways. The significance comes into play. So that's what I've seen. One of the second elements of the program, different color card for you, buddy, gets into regrets. And I'm curious, it says, here's one of the questions, Michael. What does the concept of no regrets mean to you? How do you think you or one of your clients might answer that concept of having no regrets?
Yeah, Leo, I think it's a great question. And it's one that I think we all ponder and we talk about, live life by design, not by default. That's no regrets. How are you designing the life that you want, your ideal life? And are you living it now? No regrets means, you get out of bed, you think about how you want to live, how you go about your day, who you want to spend time with. The four S's, as you've described them, are exactly what I think bring people to that transition point in their life around not having any regrets. And people probably have more examples of regrets than memories or experiences that they wish they would have created. And that's exactly the point we're making is don't waste time and go create, go design, go build. Our philosophy is discover, dream, design, and it does start with some fundamental introspection on creating your why. I'm a big Simon Sinek fan, and Simon teaches, hundreds of thousands of people this concept daily about knowing your why.
Yeah, exactly. It's some great work.
Lululemon, when they hire people, they go through this process of helping their employees, their stakeholders design their 1, 3, 5, 10-year plan. It's so important to be doing this stuff.
Well, regrets to me too can be looked at twofold. Those things that are in your life backpack here that you might be carrying around that we need to figure out how to get those rocks out of our backpack. And then secondly, you talked about this in terms of your phase of dreaming, for instance, discovery dreaming and designing. But a dream phase to me are those things. It's almost like the No Regrets movie. You remember with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman and the list of regrets that they were constantly checking off that they were able to accomplish. So that's an area to get behind with your clients. The next issue gets into the theme of abundance, Michael. I was looking through these questions. The one that hit me with you, this has got to come up with your clients or your prospects when you're talking to different people that have accumulated wealth. When is enough enough? How do you deal with clients on that question?
Leo, that conversation is very, very much about the individual or the couple, and only they know that. And we talk a lot about what's your number? What does your ideal life look like? Do you have a personal mission statement around that? It's being extremely intentional about designing, and creating the life of abundance you desire. Abundance and not, wavering from whatever is most important to you around perspective and abundance and, just being intentional always around what matters most.
Well, I like the way you emphasize that, though. Extremely intentional. I mean, that you're elevating it. It's like real value, right? It's like the element of this is important. When I hear you say that, I know that as a prospect, that this is stuff we better get our hands around. This is really important stuff in terms of when is enough for the things that you want to be able to have in your life and beyond it, in terms of how do we go from pursuit of this to absolute joy in feeling that we've accomplished something that we can literally, not take for granted anymore.
Yeah. Leo, we obviously track our clients' goals very closely and the retirement objectives and ultimately what they want. Um, Most people aren't retiring to the lazy boy, as you know, they're just looking at the next chapter and how they want to live. But we've been fortunate, as we've seen our clients build wealth and grow wealth over the last decade, and more recently, just the amount of wealth that people are creating. And when we're sitting in front of a client and talking about yesterday, we were with a client that was 296% to plan, meaning they have 196% cushion against their retirement living income expense goals. They have more money than they'll ever possibly have. So our conversation is shifting to, what does the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years look like? Are you taking time to plan and prepare, not only for your legacy and tax mitigation and all the things that our industry talks about, but what does that really look like? And it's, Leo, that enough is enough conversation it's all over the map, from I want to write a book to I want to live in a foreign country to I want to play golf every day, whatever your passions and hobbies and purposes are. But I think that's part of the value of what you're doing and the work you're doing, is getting people to understand when is enough enough.
Yeah. I want to get people to answer these questions. So all the ones that we're framing here, and there's, almost 60 questions here.
Yeah.
And when you start looking at these and saying, no, this is important. Answer this question. Here's what I'm gratitude. I know you've got high amount of gratitude in your life. Michael, what are you most grateful for?
Yeah, I love this question. And, the concept of gratitude, living each day with gratitude, staying humble, always. But I have so much, Leo, to be thankful for. One, just, I love this profession. We have incredible, blessed with great clients, people that value and appreciate the work we do equally. We love serving them. I'm thankful that I get an opportunity to get out of bed every day and, choose to show up at a place I enjoy. I get to work with stakeholders that I love, that I care about deeply, that, pour their heart and soul into our client success journey. Friendships, valued friendships, with people you care about. Obviously my love for Brooklyn and her being my life partner and soulmate, and, going on the next chapter with her. I think as we've gotten older, just, the ailments and COVID and the health situations that hit people, I'm grateful, so grateful for health. Because, we encounter things, we have challenges, but just to be able to live and breathe and take advantage of everything that's available to us in this amazing country. And there's just too much negative press, and just life is full of challenges and people trying to get through the night. But I think it's truly about just being grateful always. Having a heart of gratitude, being authentic, being appreciative is by far my number one on your wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all starts with that.
I've seen you do it with the people in your organization, expressing your appreciation and speaking from your heart about their contributions to provide the ultimate client experience for the people that you're privileged to serve, to do this. And what I love about Bradley Wealth and what you've done from just studying you folks is that you're living these principles as an organization and bringing them to your clients. You're living a life of significance. You're living a life of no regrets. You're living a life with abundance. You're living a life with gratitude. You're living a life with perspective. Speaking of perspective, I was looking at the cards on this. One of the perspective cards, this has got to be something that you run into. It says, what wake-up call have you experienced? Job change, health, divorce, loss of a friend or family? I've always referred to these as black swan events. Yeah. Things that sometimes occur that are out of the norm of day-to-day planning, but impact people, that all of a sudden it's a wake-up call and it gives you perspective in ways that you never experienced before. How do you integrate this type of discussion with the prospects and the clients that you serve, Michael?
Leo, everything you touched in that card is I've been impacted by. So I think for me, knowing you have a lot of empathy and a lot of compassion for, serving people and helping people. But the perspective conversation started with me when I was probably 21, when I had a boss that wrote me a note, and I was young in my career. I was leading a team of people, and he said, Michael, whatever you do, always keep perspective.
Hmm.
And I share that with my team around the market, the tumultuous times we're in right now. And I think similar to the conversations we have with client about around significance and meaning, no regrets, it's all tied in to making sure that you always keep perspective and recognize that, there's sensitivity around everything going on in the world and how we live our life. Giving people a benefit of the doubt, Leo, I think is important. People are hurting, people are struggling, people need, a hug, people need a pat on the back. You're such a great motivator. I look up to you and admire you for that. But, our jobs are so complex when it comes to serving people around money, and the no regrets conversation, that's perspective, living life with abundance and becoming your best. This is everything we're talking about in our meetings with our clients.
Yeah.
And when we find we touch the heart, we find we touch the human side of our business, that's what people want to talk about more than what's going on in the markets. What's the Dow performance? What's the market doing today? Because we know that's the business we're in. We got to perform, we got to deliver, we got to differentiate, we got to bring value. But what touches people's heartstrings are these conversations around everything related to why.
How many times have we discussed the whole mantra of business is first being emotional, a meeting of the hearts, and then it becomes a meeting of the minds, right? I've spoken to folks, I'm sure you've spoken to many of your clients where, investment performance is important, obviously, to meet their goals and needs, but so many of these other matters as it relates to family, multi-generational transference of money, the correct utilization and setup of ways to protect their families, tax and legal integration considerations, philanthropic discussions, and leading into this, and beyond being your best, the whole issue of living your legacy. When you think about this, Michael, I ask questions. Just look at the flow of these questions. What do you believe your legacy is now? Think of the clients and folks listening to this. How do you want to be known or remembered? Is there any gap in how you want to be remembered relative to how you're living now? What do you need to do to live your legacy now? As you're living your legacy, how will it be celebrated? What's the other one thing that you're doing that is helping you to build your legacy right now? Is there anything that you can do that would be truly transformative, where you can make a real difference from a legacy? So I'm all about, as you know, it's not a matter of leaving a legacy. To me, the important thing right now is to live your legacy, to do that. Let's finish with that in terms of your concept of living your legacy, and what of these questions or these themes hit your heart and hit your head as you hear the questions.
Well, I think at this stage and age of my life, having built this practice and a lot of people entrusting the firm, myself, my team, I've had, starting with the sabbatical, Leo, because going through that with you, meeting you, and it was the perfect time in my life to really go deep and think about the next chapter for me and positioning my life differently around what matters most. And I get back to the self-care concept, because we do pour our heart and souls into our clients' lives. But, that question for me is really around teaching, educating, living by example, teaching my young stakeholders, being the best I can be for them, demonstrating that we have integrity, we have ethics, we have um, a strong work ethic. We're passionate about our work. We genuinely care. You know, you've heard me say, work hard, play hard, have fun, make a difference. We all probably have worked far harder than we have in playing or making a difference. So I try to make a difference every day somehow, in impacting others. You know, I've had conversations this morning, 2 or 3 conversations. We're in client reviews throughout the week. It's just trying to move the needle differently every day.
Yeah.
And, you know, um, and I have to say, Leo, I mean, you know, you are truly, truly one of those people that I look up to. And I see this, you teach by example, how you live, your values, your family. Um, you know, that's what I'm trying to be for, you know, my team in Brooklyn and our stakeholders and our clients, and balance and manage all that. But I've learned to find joy um, in my life in ways that I never even thought possible, because I took a step back. And finding joy and meaning is the most incredible thing if you can build a life that way.
What a great business belief too. The belief in terms of finding joy and meaning in your life, that'll help you determine what's enough. And it all just seamlessly integrates. So, Michael, I can't thank you enough for your time today. I've always said that people do business with people that they like, with people that they trust, with people that they value. When you think about likability, trust, and value, I think about folks like Michael Bradley. I think about you, buddy. And that's the best thing I can say for you, knowing the life you live, how you treat people, your care and your love for the people that you're privileged to work for comes through loud and clear. So continued success to you and Bradley Wealth. Thanks for joining us today. And I'm sure those folks listening in some of your concepts around significance, regrets, and abundance and gratitude and perspective and being your best and living your legacy, I'm sure something's going to stick. Thanks so much, Parker. I appreciate it so much.
Leo, thank you. I cherish our friendship, and I'm grateful for this time.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.